Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitz TV here, aka GLauren33. I'm back here with another video on the channel for you guys today. And today, we're going to talk some Dragon Ball Super. We got a very interesting interview with Akio Yoku. He is basically the right-hand man of Akira Toriyama when it comes to the anime of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super, right? And we got some very interesting information about the future of Dragon Ball Super when it comes to the anime, movies, all of that good stuff. And I know you guys clicked on the video because of the title. And, I think you guys are going to be very excited with what's going on with the future of Dragon Ball. And we're going to talk about that in this video. So before anything, this is your home for all things Dragon Ball. So if you guys love Dragon Ball video games, the manga, the anime, all that good stuff, make sure you guys subscribe by hitting the bell next to my name, Fitz TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. But let's not waste any time. Let's get into this. So Dragon Ball Superhero has been out in Japan for a little over a week now. It's doing pretty well, right? And there's been a lot of talk now that people in Japan have seen the film, or at least a good amount of people. Yes, it's going to be releasing here in the U.S. in about 2 months, right? I believe August 19th is the official release date here. People have been talking about what's the future of Dragon Ball, what's next, right? Of course, we know that the Dragon Ball Super manga is ongoing, but what does this mean in terms of the anime and movies, right? And if you guys remember, Akira Yoku, during the hype for Dragon Ball Superhero, back when we had those New Year Comic Con and the San Diego Comic Con panels, right? Basically, he kind of hinted that there could be an announcement later this year on something new for the Dragon Ball Super anime, right? Could it be another movie? Could it be a new TV show? But he did hint at a couple things when they were hyping up this movie. He said that something else could be coming later this year, right? And now we've been getting some interviews now that the movie has been out, and they've been talking about what's next, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is, and I want to say thank you to Herms and Cypher for translating these interviews for us, because they were from Japanese magazines. But the first thing I want to really highlight is Toriyama, when he was writing Dragon Ball Superhero, he was originally wanting Piccolo to be the main hero of the film. And if you've watched and seen Dragon Ball Superhero, in my opinion, Piccolo is the MVP of that film. And I'm going to do a whole separate video breaking that down. So that will be on the horizon here in the coming weeks. But Piccolo, in my opinion, is the MVP, and he's the best part of this film. I absolutely love Piccolo in this movie. Originally, Piccolo was supposed to be the hero, right? But it was actually the anime staff that influenced Toriyama to put Gohan in there, right? So originally, Gohan wasn't supposed to be the big hero and the big star at the end. It was actually supposed to be Piccolo's movie, which, if I'm being honest, right, I would have had no problem with. I have no problem with Gohan being in the film, but I would have had no problem with Piccolo being the main hero of the film, because Piccolo is my favorite character after Goku. I love Piccolo, and I love Piccolo in this movie. But it was the anime staff. They know how popular Gohan is, so they were the ones that influenced Toriyama to put Gohan in the movie, right, and have him play a big role, right? If I'm going to be honest, I would love to know what Toriyama originally envisioned for Piccolo in this film, and what the story would have looked like if Piccolo remained the main character throughout the whole thing, right? And it wasn't just him and Gohan, but still, either way, Dragon Ball Superhero was fun. I loved the movie, and Piccolo and Gohan were both great in it. But yeah, so that's the first thing I want to talk. So originally, Toriyama had Piccolo as the main character of Dragon Ball Superhero. But next up, in this interview, we get some information on the film and the manga, right? Because right now, technically, the manga has kept going, of course, ever since, Dragon Ball Super's anime ended, in 2018, 4 years ago. The manga has continued. It told the tournament of power. It hinted to the Broly film, which the Broly film is canon in the manga, of course. And then the moral arc and now the granola arc, right? And basically, the plan right now for the manga is the manga's going to keep going. The manga might keep going forever right now. Toritaro has no plans to stop doing the Dragon Ball Super manga anytime soon. And right now, the manga is indefinitely going to run. They're already planning another arc after the granola arc. We have no idea what it is, but we do know that after the granola arc ends, there will be another arc beginning, and we'll find out hopefully in a couple months when the granola arc finally ends. We'll see what's the plan for that. So the manga is not stopping anytime soon. Um, but now let's switch over to the anime, right? So basically, it says between this film and Taro's manga, we currently have two lines of Dragon Ball Super running, right? So the two films we've gotten in the last 4 years, right? The Broly movie and the superhero movie, they continue where the Dragon Ball Super anime left off. To begin with, this film is written purely as a sequel to Broly, even though it's basically been confirmed that this arc or the superhero movie, the events of the superhero movie, yes, they do take place after the Broly movie, but they also basically take place after the events of the Granola arc, right? But they wrote this film as a sequel to Broly so it wouldn't confuse people that don't read the manga, right? Just to have respect for people that don't know what's happening with the manga and, are kind of waiting for the manga to get adapted into the anime. So we wanted to pick up and meet the expectations of everyone who's stuck with Dragon Ball so far. Along the lines of, it'll be neat that this happened, or I hope this kind of character shows up. And in the magazine pages, the manga, right, we have the continuing story of Goku and Vegeta. We'll see new strong enemies show up and new stories, and events will continue to progress. So basically, it's telling you right now, right, the manga is mainly focused on Goku and Vegeta and their journey, right? New strong enemies will show up, and new stories and events will continue to progress. So it's telling you that, that's the direction that the manga is going. The manga will continue, really centered around Goku and Vegeta. Right. So that's a little bit of a kind of a hint of where they're going after the granola arc. New strong enemies, because that's Dragon Ball, right? The next enemy is always stronger than the last. Basically, new enemies show up, new stories and events will continue to happen, and the story for the most part will still center around Goku and Vegeta, like it has been basically the entire story of Dragon Ball Super so far. And of course, Toriyama will oversee the storylines for the manga too. So it's like having events running in parallel. The reason why they're saying this is because they want to have respect for the anime only fans, right? They don't want people who watch only the anime and are waiting for the anime to come back to not feel like they're being left out with these movies because they haven't read the manga. That's why they're not referencing Granola or Moro or anything like that. Okay? So in terms of timeline placement, we try to not build things in too strictly. We like to leave margins in the story to allow for a greater degree of freedom, right? So think about that. In terms of timeline placement, we don't want to build things in too strictly. We like to leave margins in the story. Basically, what they mean by margins is those margins are basically the Granola and the Mora arcs, right? And basically, when the anime does eventually make its return, which we'll get into in just a second, then the Mora and the Granola arc will basically fall into its proper timeline placement, right? Even though if you read the manga, you can kind of predict where those arcs would take place. But if you're an anime only person, they don't want to feel like you're being left out because you don't read the manga. That's the reason why superhero is kind of conducted in its way, where it's basically purely a sequel to the Broly movie and not like a sequel to what's going on in the manga currently, because they want to be respectful to people who only watch the anime, which is pretty smart from a business perspective, right? For example, Broly himself was an anime original character who was brought into the world of the main series by Toriyama's own hand. And it's precisely those kinds of margins being left in the world of fiction that allow for an experiment in the first place. To put it simply, things are more interesting this way. This is kind of like their corporate way of telling you that they're not hinting towards the manga to have respect for the anime only fans. That's basically what it is, basically what they're telling you here. All right, until the anime comes back and it adapts to more on the granola arcs and whatever's next after the granola arc. Right, this is the way they're gonna have things follow. Okay, this is the way things are gonna be until this super anime comes back and things are uh done correctly. Okay. Um, but yeah, so that leads us into Dragon Ball Super anime return, right? When will the Dragon Ball Super anime be returning? Remember back in 2019, Geekdom 101, we all remember it, right? Geekdom 101 did report that Dragon Ball Super's anime was going to be coming back in 2019. It was set for a July return, but it got delayed indefinitely, right? And here we are 3 years later, and it's still not back, right? But we've also had two movies since that time. We've had the Broly movie, and we've had what's it called? Now the superhero movie. The Broly movie came out in Japan late 2018, like December, and then it came out in America January 2019. And now here we are 3 years later. Time flies so fast, right? Here we are 3 years later with the superhero movie. So, what are your plans now that Dragon Ball Superhero has been released in Japan, right? Remember, we've already talked about the manga. Now we're focusing on the anime, right? What's next from an animation's perspective? Dragon Ball Superhero is a movie that was made not only for the Japanese audience, but with the whole world in mind. Dragon Ball is a series that Japan is very proud of, so we felt a sense of responsibility while working on the movie. The reason why they say that is because Dragon Ball is popular all across the world, right? It's probably the most popular anime here in the US, the most well known easily. And of course, when you have someone like Gohan and Piccolo, right? Two of the main characters since Dragon Ball Z, when you have them as the main characters, people are gonna care about it, right? That's one of the reasons why the animators wanted Toriyama to have Gohan included as a main character. But yeah, continuing on, Azoku says, we're indeed releasing it in America this summer as well. What comes next? Well, if you're asking, here it is. A new entry on the series is already in the making. So there you have it. All right. It is confirmed that the Dragon Ball Super, from an animation standpoint, is going to continue. There's something else coming after Superhero. It doesn't say that it's a movie. It doesn't say that it is a TV show, but it does says that they are working on what is next, right? So Dragon Ball Super is far from done. So Superhero took us 5 years to make, so it's only natural we're already working on what comes next. And he laughs, right? So it took them 5 years to make the superhero movie because remember, they had already started pre-production on the superhero movie way back in about 2017. And remember, 2017 was a crazy time for Dragon Ball fans because this is when they were first starting to hype up the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Because remember, 2017 when the peak of the Tournament of Power was happening. Then, early 2018, that's when the Dragon Ball Super anime was coming to its end with its 132 episodes, or 131 episodes, sorry. That's when we got the first teaser for what would become the Broly movie, right? And remember, the manga was going on as well at that time. And I believe at that time, the manga was still telling the events of the Goku Black arc, right? So there was a lot going on. And remember this, while all this is going on with the Broly movie and Determine the Power ending in the anime and the manga, they were already also in pre-production for the Dragon Ball Superhero movie, so they were already planning what was coming next. So they're probably in pre-production right now for whatever is next. And I'll give my prediction on what I think is coming in just a second. So Toriyama Sensei himself is always working on new Dragon Ball concepts and idea. After all, we're all thinking about what we want to show the world next, and that is it, right? Remember, Izuka is the right-hand man of Toriyama when it comes to really the anime and all that stuff. Remember, Toriyama is overseeing both the manga and, the stories they tell from the anime perspective, like the movies and stuff, right? So And Toriyama's not the sole supervisor, but it is really his story. All right. And then the departments at Shueisha and Toei, they're the ones who execute all that good stuff. But yeah, so back to it. Um Basically the next entry into the world of Dragon Ball is getting set. Remember, Izoka, he's the head of the Dragon Room. Remember, they made the Dragon Room. When was the Dragon Room announced? Like 5 years ago, at 2017, something like that. And the reason why they announced the Dragon Room was that they could continue making stories for the future, manga, anime, etc. So, what does this mean? What is coming next? Right? Is the Dragon Ball Super anime coming back? I do think it's likely that the Dragon Ball Super anime is coming back. We all want to see the Granola and the Mora arcs finally get adapted, right? Especially the Mora arc, since the Mora arc ended like a year and a half ago. Not even. I'm thinking longer, close to 2 years ago now. The Mora arc finally ended, and we want that arc to get adapted. A lot of people love that arc. Those who have read the Dragon Ball Super manga. But what I think is, remember, there's TV shows right now running in Japan that are in Dragon Ball Super's current time slot. I think it's Digimon and the Adventures of Dai, right? And I think both of those shows are slated to end later this year. And, that would open up the time slot for Dragon Ball Super to, regain its original time slot from its original run, 5, 6, 7 years ago, which is crazy. How long ago that was at this point. It's already been nearly 8 years since Dragon Ball Super first premiered, Dragon Ball Super Episode 1, which is absolutely crazy to think of. 8 years, nearly 8 years since Dragon Ball Super premiered on TV. But anyway, yes. So if I had to make a prediction, I don't think the Dragon Ball Super anime is gonna come back this year. I think it's gonna come back. If it does come back this year, it would have to be very, very late this year. I think it would be very late this year, like October, November, December. But my thing is, if I had to make a prediction, if the Dragon Ball Super anime is gonna come back, I think it's gonna come back very early 2023. That's when I think it will come back, and they would most likely start telling the moral arc. That's where I think that they would go. They would probably do an episode recapping what happened with the Tournament of Power, recapping the Broly movie, and then moving into the moral arc. That's what I think that they would do. I do think also another Dragon Ball Super movie is gonna come. I think when they see how successful the Broly movie was, this movie was successful. The Dragon Ball Super superhero movie wasn't as successful as the Broly movie, but I don't think their goal was for Dragon Ball Super superhero to be more successful than the Broly movie. Remember, the marketing for the superhero movie was kind of poor. So but I do think another movie is coming, especially seeing what's been happening, right? Goku and Vegeta getting new forms, Piccolo and Gohan getting these new power-ups, right? I do think and you have Broly and you have Frieza still out there. I still think there's some big stuff coming. I still think there's some big things that are coming. And I would say I would expect the Dragon Ball Super. My prediction is I think the Dragon Ball Super anime is going to come back probably around early 2023, right? And I think the next movie for Dragon Ball Super will come back, and then it will come in the next 2 to 3 years. So I'm thinking like 2024, 2025. We'll get the next Dragon Ball Super movie or whatever they have planned next. That's where I'm thinking they're going. I think the Dragon Ball Super anime returning would probably tell the story of the Mora arc, and then the Granola arc, and then whatever's next with the manga. And then I think they're also going to start slowly working on the next movie, whatever they want that to look like. That's what I think is coming in the Dragon Ball Super future. But it is confirmed without a shadow of a doubt that a new entry on the series is already in the making. So Dragon Ball Super is far from over when it comes from an animation perspective. We don't have confirmation that a new movie or a show is coming, but we know something from an animation perspective is coming, and definitely no matter what it is, I'm going to be excited. I would love more than anything for the anime to come back, especially now when it's been, over 4 years now since the anime ended. We've gotten 2 movies in that time. I want the Dragon Ball Super anime to finally come back and start retelling some of these arcs in the manga. But that's just me personally. But either way, whatever we get as a Dragon Ball fan, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna enjoy it either way because I love Dragon Ball. And all I want is more Dragon Ball. But other than that, let me know what you guys think is next coming in the Dragon Ball Super anime future. Is it a movie? Is it finally the Dragon Ball Super anime coming back? Is it something we've never seen before? Something completely wacky? Something completely new? Right? Let me know what you guys think is coming in terms of Dragon Ball and the future of Dragon Ball from an anime perspective. Let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, as we continue to get more news when it comes to Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball's future, as always, I will be here to make videos on it and let you guys know what is going on. As always, guys, thank you. Please leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Comment your thoughts down below. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel by hitting the bell. My name Fitz TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. Thank you for the love and support. My social media is in the link down below. Follow me down there. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.